Hey human, the Game Awards were last night. Might have heard of it. Small tiny thing that happens every year in gaming. One game is really good, gets a prize. Or for me, it was this night because Jeff Keighley thought it was really funny to host it for everybody in Europe at 2 a.m. in the morning. And this is a message directly to Jeff. So if you're not Jeff Keighley, you can skip this part. Jeff, I'm gonna be totally honest with you with this one. Don't ever host that shit at 2 a.m. again for me, okay? Especially if your last announcement is a generically looking hero PvP multiplayer shooter that is going to have a quicker shutdown than fucking Concord, okay? He hyped this shit up to be one of the best games, and if you look at the trailer of Highgard, which is the game, what the game is called, I cannot explain to you what the game is about, what you do in the game. The trailer looks like AI generated. It looks AI generated, not in a sense of that the game looks AI generated, but it doesn't make any sense. I have no idea what's going on. Suddenly the motherfucker is using a jet ult from Valorant. He is spawning in a ram. Not sure how that works. I'm not interested in it. You announced it as Apex Legends and Titanfall, and then you have the gall to show me this? After that? That was maybe hype 6 years ago. You are 6 years too late for this announcement, man. The other announcements all around were really great. Divinity, Old Republic, Tomb Raider games, all look interesting. Why was that the last announcement? I feel like that ruined the entire show and left people with a sore taste, because the last announcement is supposed to be something big, but every announcement before that felt way bigger and more impactful. I'm not even necessarily saying that the game Highgard is bad, because it may be a good game, but it came of a 4-hour stream of us watching Expedition developers getting fucking glazed up. This game is now in mind as the final thing that is supposed to be the biggest announcement of the year, because that's what happens at the end. And then you show me this. I don't know, man. That's not it. But let's talk about the elephant in the room. The thing you're all here for. Expedition 33 winning 9 awards out of 11 it was nominated for. In-fucking-sane. And I have to say, boring as hell. I love the game. I played it, it's amazing, I had a great time playing it. I have to say, can we put a limit on how many nominations you can get? Matter of fact, don't even put a limit. Be honest about who is supposed to win. Because I am very sorry for Expedition 33, but best game direction, that is Hideo Kojima or Ghost of Yotei all the way. Art direction, I am fucking sorry, what? You're telling me that one over Silksong, Hades, and Ghost of Yotei? That is ridiculous. Obviously, this comes down to personal preference, but from my perspective, I just don't think it looked better than these games. That game, I could not do that in a million years. If you gave me a PC and all the money in the world to make this game, I couldn't make it. It's really impressive. I just think the others were better. Game of the Year, 100% deserved. Indie title, I really don't know much about that. It doesn't feel indie to me. Apparently it had $1 million budget or even higher, like 8 million or whatever. I don't know the exact budget. They haven't said it. Like, I don't got a crystal ball in front of me where I can see the numbers, or I'm Baba Vanga that predicts the future. And while I just said it doesn't feel indie, it still, as far as I understand, does fit the definition of an indie game. So it does make sense why it's nominated. It just doesn't feel right to be in that category. Maybe that's a testimony to how good the game is. I don't know. You think about that for a while. Be the ponderer or something. And I do think that this game is a huge kick in the balls to every AAA studio that spends like hundreds of millions of dollars to make a game for it to turn out like Skull and Bones. I think that is a testimony that games don't have to be these overbloated budgets, but I feel like it would also be nice to give other games credit for what they achieved. For example, Silksong. That is an insane masterpiece. Ghost of Yotei is really good. Kingdom Come Deliverance didn't get a single award. Same with Death Stranding 2. You're telling me Doom the Dark Ages has more awards than all three? And I feel like it's kind of ironic that Jeff Keighley spent 90% of the show that he was talking saying that this was a great year for indie titles, where he is correct. 99% of games that I played this year were indie. The King is Watching, Die in a Dungeon, Risk of Rain 2, granted not new, Expedition 33. I played so many good games this year that were indie games, but you only gave credit to one. The only game that got crazy praise is the one that is at the upper echelon of what can be defined as an indie game. That should not be used as a staple. When I think of an indie game, I think of Stardew Valley, where there's one dude that made that in a cave with a laptop that can barely even run the program that he's making. But maybe that's also because I'm not going with the times. Maybe that's on me. I don't know. I have legitimately sung the praises of this game so many times. People called me a glazer, a cum guzzler for the shit I said about this game. Me watching this award show made me feel like they are over-glazing the game. But let me know what you think, to be honest. I want to hear other thoughts. Maybe I'm talking from a bias because I was really tired, and at one point I was really annoyed at the fact that the same people went on stage every single time. Anyway, I do want to point out my favorite part of the show is Moist Critical winning Creator of the Year, and he did not want to win that at all.
And the game award goes to Moist Critical. Congratulations. All right. Here are the nominees for Best Fighting Game. 2XKO.